If I asked you what was the most difficult South Park episode to make, you would probably answer Good Times with Weapons or Major Boobage due to the change in animation, but the answer may actually startle you, and the funny thing is the creators thought it'd be a walk in the park to create. Oh, how wrong they were, thanks to these little guys.
Thing was that when we first had the idea, we're like, all right, well, let's just get guinea pigs in costumes and we'll just shoot a bunch of stuff of them, eating and running around.
But it turned out to be a nightmare. Consider subscribing if enjoying the content, and I post new South Park analysis videos weekly. Thank you. In the episode Pandemic, the boys go shopping in the mall and run into a very annoying noise. Yes, even more annoying than this song. The boys all find the music extremely painful to listen to, besides Kenny, who is in some type of trance. They run out the mall and bump into another Peruvian flute band.
Shut up already! I'm out of here, see you guys!
When Stan gets home, the TV is playing in the background, featuring a Travel Channel episode about London.
London has something for everyone. Sights, theatre, and wonderful street performers.
They're in London too?
Basically, wherever Stan goes, the Peruvian flute bands follow him, sort of becoming a pandemic.
This is a pan flute epidemic. A pandemic?
For us anyway, there was we all thought it was funny, the idea of just these Peruvian flute bands, because they are all over the place.
Which the creators mentioned was a real annoyance for them while holidaying on their time away from making South Park. However, what turned into a huge annoyance actually made Stan come up with a great idea, becoming a street performer himself after seeing how much money they earned after performing outside his house. Ecstatic to tell his friends.
How much money they made selling their crappy CDs? How much? Over $200. $200? Really? Are you sure? Yeah, dude, I'm starting to realize it's like the easiest job in the world.
However, the boys need at least $100 to buy all the necessary kit to start their own band, and decide to visit their not-so-good friend Craig.
Come on in, Craig. Have a seat. Welcome. What do you guys want? Craig, we have chosen you to join our Peruvian flute band. All right, Craig!
They convinced their classmate Craig to invest his $100 birthday money into their scheme. It all goes great until another Peruvian flute band steals their thunder by drowning out their music with louder instruments. This causes Cartman to have a nice little word with the band.
Vaya! No playa la música en la promenade! No es bueno!
But sadly, their get-rich scheme is short-lived and backfires tremendously when the head of the US Department of Homeland Security hunts down all Peruvian flute bands, including the ones at South Park Mall, where the boys happen to be performing at. This results in them being imprisoned in Miami, with the boys also arrested in the process. While imprisoned, an announcement is made that they are being relocated to Guantanamo Bay.
Guantanamo Bay? We can't go to Guantanamo Bay! Don't worry, you guys. I'm sure our parents are freaking out right now trying to find us.
What is wrong with you? Our son is missing!
Hey, I'm worried about him too, Sharon.
Well then stop being an idiot and help!
Maybe the boys all ran away.
Back in South Park, Randy is making the most out of his son's disappearance by getting great content from his family. It's sad how realistic this is now. Something that was a parody in 2008 is actually a very real thing.
Come here, come closer for the video, come closer. Come closer! Go like this.
No, Mom, I'm actually seriously crying.
No, I know, but go like this for the video.
While held captive, Craig brings to their attention that Stan, Carl, Kenny and Cartman's unconventional adventures are why they are so unpopular at school.
You're always coming up with some stupid idea to do something, and then it backfires, and then you end up in some foreign country or in outer space or something.
Which the boys just shake off, even though it's obviously struck a chord.
Clearly they are a Peruvian flute band, and yet they aren't. They play pan flute music like the others, but they talk and act like one of us. Perhaps a Peruvian flute band mated with one of our females. Who knows?
Carl tries to make the captors understand that they are US citizens, but the Department of Homeland Security will only let the boys go if they take part in a mission, which is nothing out of the ordinary just to overthrow the country of Peru. And their objective is to put an end to the Peruvian flute bands once and for all. Meanwhile, outside, the guards are given a stark warning by the captured Peruvians.
I think he said the furry death?
La muerte peluda! La muerte peluda!
Back in South Park, people are happy they can finally walk around the mall again without having to endure the terrible music.
There hasn't been a Peruvian pan flute band in sight for days now, and everyone is really enjoying the piece. The world can breathe a collective sigh of relief now as we thank the...
Until a strange groan throws everyone off guard, with the news reporter trying to get his words out but is so startled by the horror he is witnessing.
It's furry! It's very furry!
with the monster slowly making its way across more of South Park, which gives Randy a reason to quickly run out the door with his camera to make the most out of the moment. This is the moment we get our first real look of what this diabolical creature is.
What is that thing?
The weird inspiration for the episode.
We also came up with the idea of shooting live action cute critters. Then we settled on guinea pigs. And then we found out guinea pigs are eaten in Peru and kind of from Peru.
From the Andes Mountains in Peru.
And then we're like, well, fuck. And then we kind of have to put those together.
Yeah.
So the creators settled on guinea pigs being the main villain for the episode, which sounds simple enough but was one of the most frustrating and time-consuming episodes in South Park's history. What truly blew my mind about this episode is it's referencing a real movie, which was advertised as a horror in the 70s about rabbits terrorizing a city.
This idea started making fun of that movie, Night of the Lepus, or those big creature movies of the 70s.
Just as South Park used live guinea pigs for their shoots, Night of the Lepus used domestic rabbits. I shit you not, this is an actual clip from the movie. Crybaby, it's just a bunny rabbit. I mean, oh, how scary. The movie used domestic rabbits against miniature models and actors dressed in costumes for the attack scenes, and the director even smeared ketchup over the rabbits' mouths to give the blood effects. Critics all agreed how idiotic the film was, and that the funniest thing about it was Night of the Lepus failed profusely to make giant rabbits appear scary in any way. If that hasn't sold you on watching the movie, maybe this will. The movie has 0% on Rotten Tomatoes, but this episode was originally going to go in a very different direction, which I actually think is a funnier premise, which was meant to be an episode about when the financial meltdown started in 2008.
The government tried to help the economy, but they were going to basically inject some kind of steroid into the economy and
Make it grow big.
To grow big, so they're testing on guinea pigs, and then they got big, and then they took over the bank, and they wouldn't let anybody in. Yeah. That might have been a good show.
Yeah.
Why this episode was excruciating to make. While navigating the jungle, the boys come across a temple with etchings depicting a prophecy that details a timeline of the guinea pigs and Peruvian flute band. Upon discovering these, they become aware that it was in fact the Peruvian flute bands that were protecting them from the bloodthirsty guinea pigs, keeping them in the jungle. It's not until the boys reach the last carving that something catches them completely off guard. Craig is featured in the last carving.
Dude, it's Craig! What? That is Craig! Dude, Craig, what's going on? I have no idea. Well, do you mind telling us what you're doing on an ancient Incan wall, Craig? I don't know.
This makes Craig not want to take this journey any further, as he doesn't want to get roped into one of the boys' messed up adventures, and turns around back towards the jungle.
Alright, get the jets ready. I need to get to Machu Picchu.
Machu Picchu, sir?
Yes, I need to be taken to Machu Picchu. Have you lost your hearing?
Back in South Park, the guinea pigs are running rampant, with Randy, Sharon, and Shelly hiding from the guinea pigs, which have taken on new forms such as guinea bees and even a...
All these costumes were not made by us. We found a website. Oh, there's a little dinosaur. There's a little prison outfit. And we're like,
The jokes came from what was available, not so much like the pirate was just because there was pirate.
yeah.
There was some costumes that they didn't use, such as a leprechaun and a fireman.
Thing is that when we first had the idea, we're like, all right, well, let's just get guinea pigs in costumes and we'll just shoot a bunch of stuff of them, eating and running around. Guinea pigs don't move around much anyway. But if you put a guinea pig into a costume, their defense mechanism is to freeze. So as soon as they get put into a costume, they think they're about to die, and they just will not move.
To be fair, I can understand why the one in the prison outfit thinks he's gonna die, as May think he's on death row, being framed for a crime he didn't commit.
180 minutes of footage,
Yeah.
and you're seeing like the 16 seconds where they're moving.
There are 3 full days of shooting, and out of those 3 full days came the shots that are in the show where they're at least twitch a nose or blink or do something in the costume. Like, once we had shot the guinea pigs, we're like, okay, they do absolutely nothing. We're like, well, then that's the joke, is that the camera's moving around, people are screaming, but they're really just sitting there doing absolutely nothing.
This episode also heavily spoofs the movie Cloverfield, or as Trey and Matt call it, startle movies.
The new way to do horror movies these days is like what we call startled.
Oh, yeah,
where
and then the
it's
startle idea,
all just
yeah.
about like, psh, it's all just about trying to do 3 frames of something in a really loud sound to try to make people jump.
What?
Nothing, sorry, I just startled myself.
That's not the same as being scared.
Yeah.
Being startled is not the same as being scared.
The head of Homeland Security's terrifying secret. The head of Homeland Security travels to Machu Picchu to finalize his plan for world domination, but the boys just so happen to stumble into him due to the route Craig was taking them on.
Damn you, Craig! You just don't ever stop, do you?
I didn't say anything.
You see,
The HHS orders that the guards must kill them at once, with Stan trying to get through to him that they are not a Peruvian flute band.
No, listen to me. The Peruvian flute bands were keeping the guinea creatures away. Whatever's happening to the world is happening because you guys got rid of all the flute bands.
This causes the HHS to break character and what his actual goal is.
Incas learned how to keep the creatures at bay by playing pan flute music. Guinea creatures hate it even more than humans do. But the prophecy foretold that one day the creatures would be unleashed, and I have made that happen.
With him revealing his terrifying true form.
Guinea rabbits, Guinea-saurus rexes, I am something much more evil. Arrgh!
Craig, just completely unfazed, decides he doesn't want to get involved with the absurdness of this and begins to walk away. While doing this, he triggers an ancient stone tile that activates some type of unique superpower within Craig as neon blue rays start to shoot out his eyes, directly hitting the guinea pirate.
Ah, curse ye, Craig! Stop! Ah! Arrgh! Curse ye, Craig!
This scene is just so stupid. I'm guessing they shot this while the guinea pig was having his pirate costume and sort of rolling around. You can tell this guinea pig got the worst out of the costumes thanks to this pose.
Kill me.
And on top of that, he has these two in hysterics watching over him. You gotta feel a little sorry for the guy. It's not a normal day.
All the Peruvian flute bands were released and drove the guinea creatures back to the Andes Mountains.
Don't worry guys, this is just a cartoon. We'll never have to worry about guinea pig. They're coming. Subscribe for more South Park and thanks for watching.